concerning at this late in the game. The little Flicker Wisp, not a factor because of the Ruined Halo.
Yeah, so I guess right now none of them can attack. Steven can trade with the Snapcaster Mage, but I assume Ben would be all too happy to do that.
Right, and there's a Ghost Quarter at the ready with the Arbiter, but Nikolich just has to wisely leave some mana untapped, and that's really not a huge issue.
Yeah.
His deck plays a good amount of basic lands. And Dykman looks like hand is another basic Plains, and I think a second Leonin Arbiter.
So he's going to make the second Arbiter. Now with it on the stack, Ben might pay and crack his fetch land, otherwise he'll start losing his mana. And that's what he's going to do. Now you can't really respond to this because Land Arbiter is a game action. You would say, hey, in response to this fetch, Steven should Ghost Quarter him. Can't actually do that. Looks like he's going to get the land tapped anyway, so he'll get a chance.
This is a fine spot to go for the Ghost Quarter, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. You want to save that for a Celestial Colonnade.
Yeah, and then just one Ghost Quarter for Steven. That other non-basic is an Eldrazi Temple, as he does play 4 copies of Eldrazi Displacer. Over to Ben, 4 mana, Gideon, ally of Zendikar. It's going to be a hard one for Steven to beat. It's going to start making ally tokens.
Every turn, that makes a creature that is exactly as good as Leonin Arbiter.
Yeah, just this infinite stream of Leonin Arbiters. He'll pass. Is that a card of his own? And Flicker Wisp can attack Gideon. That's what Steven will do. However, Snapcaster Mage from Nikolich targeting Lightning Bolt will shoot down the Flicker Wisp. Always hurts to have to remove something you've already removed.
Yeah.
But in response to the bolt, Steven will Violin Eldrazi Displacer, and he's going to...
This hurts even more.
Ooh. Because he already used the Lightning Bolt?
Yes.
So he's going to go ahead and put the Flicker Wisp, blink it out with Eldrazi Displacer. Flicker Wisp.
I used that to get rid of the token for the Gideon made.
Yeah. Oh, because it immediately comes back tapped. Yep. So the token is gone and go back to Nikolich. He will need a removal spell for this Eldrazi Displacer. One more activation available. Field of Ruin is going to go ahead and target the Eldrazi Temple. Players can't search libraries here. Ben Steven can't pay 4. That's fine. Ben can't get a land. I mean, no, he can't search, but he has to shuffle afterward, right? That's why he didn't get one?
Yes, I believe that's what we're seeing.
Yep, yep. But still a bit of a hiccup, I think, for Ben in that he had this Lightning Bolt, but it wasn't pointed at Eldrazi Displacer.
Does have a copy of Secure the Wastes in hand, though. That can turn into a lot of damage with this Gideon.
Yeah, especially now that we're on 1 activation instead of 2 or maybe even, it was almost at 3 Displacer activations.
Yep.
1 can be overcome.
Yeah, you're going to see an emblem here. Seeing as the Flicker Wisp can attack the Gideon, can't attack Ben. Seeing as the Displacer can deal with the tokens, I like this emblem. The Snapcaster Mage also have 3 power now. So if you want to attack with this Displacer, you got to blink them out. And that's really not what you want to do to Snapcaster Mage.
All right. So a 6th land here from Steven. He cannot use 2 Displacer activations, though, because he only has 1 colorless mana source.
Pretty flooded on basic planes.
It's got half of them. Another 5 still in the deck. Swing with the Arbiters. And now we see why the Gideon emblem happened. It was because of Secure the Wastes. Ben will secure the wastes for, looks like 4.
I expect to see double block on both Arbiters.
Yeah, well, you don't want a single block, because then Eldrazi just... Yeah, if you want to make sure you get them, you have to double block. Those Eldrazi Displacer will save them. So, 4 tokens, and that is exactly what's going to happen. 2 on each. Steven accepts. Yep, that trade will happen. Secure the Waste will have trouble winning in the face of Eldrazi Displacer right now.
Until he Snapcasters it back. Not clearly has a line to do that anytime soon, but that can break through. So these Snapcasters get to attack for 3. Dykman neither wants to blink them out or block with his Displacer, so they kind of force action.
Yeah, no, Ryan, I'm not sure. So we're going to look at what Dykman's doing here. He gets Blade Splicer. That's very powerful with Eldrazi Displacer, but we're going to have quite the game. Ben drew Elspeth Sun's Champion, so...
That is a nice one.
Yeah, now the Golem, it's a 3/3 first strike. It's just going to go ahead and eat a Snapcaster Mage.
That's
Ben
fine.
looks like he has Supreme Verdict Elspeth? I mean, this is all fine. I don't...
Those cards are good.
Does this matter? Does any of this matter?
Yeah, these are some cute combat tricks. I'm going to cast some Haymakers.
Yeah. I will get rid of all the creatures, and then I will make a bunch of them.
Gideon Emblem makes it so that the Elspeth tokens are 2/2s.
Sure, that sounds great.
Dykman's at 9. Doesn't take long to close from there.
I think the question is whether or not you want to make Elspeth or Supreme Verdict first here. There's an argument for both.
Yeah, you want to do some math. Now, the Flicker Wisp can still attack Elspeth, and I think for that reason, that kind of tips you to where you want a Supreme Verdict here.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what Nikolich is going to do. So he cleans up the board. You can use the Displacer to bounce to save something. So Flicker Wisp is going to go ahead and remove... Interesting. I thought he might remove the Displacer itself, but he'll remove the Blade Splicer.
Yeah, it's only 1 activation. This makes some sense.
Yeah, and Ben is at 9 or 7. This is an attack for 4. We're getting close to this mattering. Swing for 4, Ben down to 3. We go back to Nikolich, and now Elspeth might take over. We will see. Draw, it's a land, then, but Nikolich has the Sun's Champion. She will make 3 blockers. Steven seems pretty confident here. Wonder what he just drew.
Yeah. Could have a, well, I guess he wouldn't have lethal if he had a Flicker Wisp to bounce in.
Restoration Angel, that. Flash it in, deal 3. I was going to say, I wonder if he has another 3-power flyer, and he does. It has to not be Flicker Wisp because that one's ruined haloed, but we're going to a 3rd game.
Yeah.
And what a choice here on Dykman. He chose exactly to save the Blade Splicer and ends up getting exactly 7 damage.
Yeah, that worked out. Yeah, would have needed to do a little bit more play there. Potentially could have lost the game if it was just on Displacer.
So we're going to get a full 3rd game here between Steven Dykman and Ben Nikolich. So it'll be for the perfect 7-0 and to lock into day 2. That'll be coming up in just a minute. So game number 3 between Steven Dykman and Ben Nikolich coming up in just a minute here.
Death and Taxes versus Jeskai Control. Dykman taking game 2 as we came back there. And here's Nikolich going to be on the play.
So just to note, there was a time extension that the judge had awarded the players from before we started coverage. So you may notice the clock is higher now than when we first joined the match. This is the correct time. Ben will be on the play. That last game really felt like Ben was in control of it. And then just, you know, things happened.
I think that the ruined Halo Planeswalker interaction really got him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know if this is the best matchup for the Halo.
Well, it didn't end up being a removal spell because he had to remove the creature anyway.
Right. And that walked him right into an Eldrazi Displacer.
Yeah, that interaction really did cost him. Had that Lightning Bolt been there to hit the Displacer from the get-go, we'd have seen a very different game.
Yep.
I guess that once you have Displacer and Flicker Wisp, one bolt just doesn't do it. I don't know. Timing's everything in that situation.
Right.
Serum Vision's turn 1 from Ben. He's on the play here. Likes the cards he sees. He's going to keep them on top. And we will see Aether Vial from Steven. A pretty good one, especially for this matchup.
Yeah, coming off of Ghost Quarter as well.
Yeah.
Kind of the ideal start for Death and Taxes involves leaning on some number of Ghost Quarter, getting a Vial up to 2, filing in an Arbiter, and strip mining your opponent.
Yeah, Tectonic Edge joining for Steven, so far so good. There is an Arbiter in his hand as well. Ben gonna main phase crack his fetch land. Gotta say I like that play.
Yeah. You don't want to get Arbitered.
And he'll go ahead and looks like get a Steam Vents.
Sacred Foundry.
Is that Sacred Foundry?
I don't know why you can't tell.
Yeah, my mistake indeed. It's going to go ahead and cast a Snapcaster Mage on Serum Vision. This will open him up to the Ghost Quarter. Supreme Verdict's Path on top. Looks like he'll keep Verdict Ship Path. Supreme Verdict, always a great card against Death and Taxes.
Yes.
And now on Steven's side, he's going to have some options to attack his opponent's mana.
Looks like he found a basic plane, so he can even just get 2 2-drops out.
Yeah, I like that.
I believe he has access to Thalia and the Leonid Arbiter. Thalia plus Wasteland. Been a pretty strong combination in Legacy for some time.
Blade Splicer from Steven brings the 3/3. He's going to go ahead and Vial in a Thalia and then says go. So actually waiting on the Arbiter play. Giving Steve Ben this extra mana does mean that we have the possibility for Supreme Verdict, however.
Right, not on this turn, but the one after.
And I guess that's fair because he can't because of Thalia.
Right.
Tap land then for Nikolich.
Dykman cranks the Vial to 3. So he's going to be arbitering. He's going to be casting it. I think he's just kind of off that plan, given that he didn't go for it last turn, though. With the Vial going up to 3, I think his hand must just kind of be flush with more expensive creatures. The Vial on 3 threatening Flicker Wisp. That's one of the best avenues that the Death and Taxes deck has in this matchup. Using that to flash that into counter removal spells is really powerful.
Path to exile for 2 mana on the Thalia here from Ben.
We'll see if this is worth Flicker Wisping.
Yeah.
Probably not.
And Ben somewhat wants it to get Flicker Wisped too. You see his Tectonic Edge is going to be played here. He's trying to set up, I think, for a really good Supreme Verdict.
And it does not look like Dykman's going to give that to him.
No, he needs Tectonic Edge to shoot down a land. Now we'll see if he wants to save his Thalia as well. Looks like he might. Here's Flicker Wisp off Aether Vial. So not at all path work.
Golem still coming across.
All right, Ben gonna chump block. And then he's gonna go ahead and path to exile his own Snapcaster Mage because the Thalia's gone here.
Yeah, that gets him right back in with the
Oh,
land.
this is nice because now he can what a play by Ben.
Yeah, he has the 5th land in hand.
Oh, wow.
He'll be able to Supreme Verdict this all away.
This is nice. Pat's going to put into play tapped, but still. Yeah, Thalia comes back. Ben untaps. Land 5. Supreme Verdict. What a setup. Ben had to take 2 to shock. There goes to 12, but he has kept the board clean. Steven was trying to avoid the verdict resolving at all costs, and Ben, by a crafty timing of Flicker Wisp, is able to path his own creature to rampant growth.
Yeah, looks like 4 cards left over for Dykman, but he needs to set up again here.
Yeah, and he's not going to have too much time. Ben does have cards to recover with. Right now, it looks like Ben just has a Detention Sphere and a Supreme Verdict, so just removal. He'll need to find a Snapcast or something.
Detention Sphere on the Aether Vial would be very impactful here.
Yeah, it's going for the mana. It's an interesting play for sure.
You do need to find a window where you can do that and not take too much damage for it.
Thalia is going to be the play from Steven, drawing a, looks like a way to recast. Says go. He left his Aether Vial on 3. And land 6 is the draw from Nikolich. Looks like it's going to be that Detention Series paying 4 for it. We'll see what he actually targets. And yeah, you're right, it's going to be the Vial. In response, Steven will go ahead and Vial in a 3-mana card. It's going to be Eldrazi Displacer. A fine card, but actually no answer to his Supreme Verdict, which is what Ben's play will be next turn.
Yeah, and if Dykman commits another creature, then that Verdict's just going to clean this all up.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. Drew another Restoration Angel. So the swing here is for 5. Ben Nikolich down to 7. Arbiter is a possibility here for Dykman. I don't know if he wants to commit another creature to the board. Looks like he will. Wants to really ensure that he has lethal next turn. Understandably.
He has a Phyrexian Revoker.
It's not gonna, that doesn't do much here, though.
No. You can name some Planeswalker. Maybe Elspeth Sun's Champion, which theoretically could be Nikolich's last card.
He has a choice of, his cards are Restoration Angel, Lane and Arbiter, Phyrexian Revoker. So he'll go for the Arbiter, it looks like. Ben will, of course, respond with his own fetch land.
Yeah. And Nikolich about to get a nice little 3-for-1.
Yeah, these 2 Supreme Verdicts are going to be, if he gets it, they're going to be the story of the game for Nikolich. He's timed them so well just to really capitalize on Steven's land light start. And there we have another Supreme Verdict, cleans the board. Now Ben has to turn the corner and find a way to win before Steven starts drawing the ability to cast his cards. Draws Flicker Wisp, so right now it's just fine for Ben. Steven will make Phyrexian Revoker and pass. Naming maybe up. He named Elspeth Sun's Champion. Lightning Bolt, the draw from Nikolich. So that actually allows him to use his Colonnade, but decides not. He'll just pass.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that bolt away just yet if you don't have to. Hangs back the blocker. Though there is Ghost Quarter for Dykman. He doesn't really want to use it.
Yeah, it's a second one, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he can use them on himself to cast a Flicker Wisp, but then he's down to 2 lands again. I'm really out on that. He wanted to draw land, but that barely felt like it counted.
Right.
I guess the 2 Restoration Angels in his hand, it does build him up toward those.
Yep.
But right now, no attacks are possible. Colonnade can block.
Yeah, once you stick Restoration Angel, then using Ghost Quarter on Colonnade gets a lot better.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do you want to attack? Ben activates Colonnade, and then do you want to quarter his Colonnade?
It's a tough spot.
Yeah,
I'd be inclined to hang tight and try to find the land for the Restoration Angel. Kind of hope that Nikolich is on nothing.
That's what he's going to do. Passes. No cards there. Ben passes back over to Dykman. Not a land. We're going to see look of what it is. Thraben Inspector. That actually seems fine.
Yeah, that's one of the best white creatures ever printed.
He'll go ahead and crack the clue.
And it finds a plains.
Okay. Things are looking better for Dykman as he passes. Nikolich would love to find something. Sphinx's Revelation. I don't know. I don't think he plays that. Yeah, he does one of them. Okay, that would be incredible. He has not turned the corner very well here.
No, then he has passed back, so Dykman now has access to Restoration Angel mana.
Right.
Can use it to blink the Thraben Inspector now, get another clue.
Great.
Quite a bit better than blinking the Revoker. You gotta figure out if you want to do these things unprovoked or to wait. Who's supposed to move first is the question of this game.
Search for Azcanta, the draw from Ben, but that takes down the Colonnade. It is a risky play. He's gonna make it. Ruined Halo, also available. He'll make that. He's got to be worried about Restoration Angel, though. See what he names. And he named Restoration Angel, just blind.
Yeah.
And that's so big here.
It makes sense, right? Dykman's been hanging out, not casting any spells, waiting it to 4 mana.
It's a great play from Ben Nikolich, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 of them in Dykman's hand. So Restoration Angel comes down, targets the Revoker, and no, Lightning Bolt takes care of the Revoker. No. Actually, it targets the Thraben Inspector. My apologies, Ben hits the Revoker anyway.
Yeah, it took the opportunity to get that Lightning Bolt in.
Okay. We're back to Steven's main phase.
This way, if he draws an Elspeth, he can start Elspething.
Yeah. Search for Azcanta is going to flip. And then where Ben will start to be able to make some big advantages. So Steven is on the clock. He's got to try to get that last 6 damage in. Looks like Flicker Wisp is going to be the first try.
Flicker Wisp and Rune Halo is real good.
He'll hit Ruined Halo. He swings Ben Nikolich down to 2. Passes. Ruined Halo comes back. That's definitely on Restoration Angel this time.
Gotta deal with that Flicker Wisp, though.
Yep, search for Azcanta. Mills an island. It's going to transform into Azcanta, the Sunken Ruin. Now Ben draws for turn. Draw didn't get a good look at it.
The card in hand before was Engineered Explosives.
Well, that one's good.
Good-ish. If you want to hit the Flicker Wisp, you got to give Dykman back his Ether Vial.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. At this point, Ben might be fine with that. Yeah, it looks like he is setting up explosives on 3.
Fine with it or forced into it?
Well, it's kind of the same here. Explosives is on 3. He cannot both activate Engineered Explosives, however, and use that Azcanta Sunken Ruin. So there is a cost. As far as Supreme Verdicts go, just the 2 in the main and a 3rd in the sideboard for Ben Nikolich. So he's drawing to only 1 more. Of course, Snapcaster Mages are draws he'll always take.
Yeah, usually pretty happy to see that one on the top of the deck.
Yeah, he still has all 3 of those. He's used 1. Here's a swing, including a swing with Restoration Angel. But
I like it.
Sure, Nikolich is going to have to pop those Engineered Explosives on 3. So Flicker Wisp is gone. And in response, Steven's going to use another Restoration Angel. He's going to target the Flicker Wisp. It's going to hit the Ruined Halo, and damage should be lethal here. Unless What's Ben's last card? It's going to Path the Flicker Wisp. So it does mean that Ben more or less just blew up his own detention sphere for nothing.
Yep. It's not a good exchange.
No, and we've seen this a lot of times. Ben has been losing on these exchange timings. I think Steven just knows them a little bit better.
Yes.
But the draw from Ben is huge. It's Sphinx's Revelation. And he'll just tap all 8, draw 5, gain 5. It's this draw he was waiting for. Now, a Flicker Wisp is still going to kill him.
Right.
But here we go, Ben up to 6. And is there any way around it, Ryan? He has a Supreme Verdict in hand. If he can survive this turn, he's going to win.
Well, with the Ether Vial back in play, the Supreme Verdict is less good than it was a turn ago.
He has to dodge Flicker Wisp here.
Yes.
A way to get rid of Ruined Halo. The Halo's on Restoration Angel. Steven hasn't slammed one, and I assume he would. So
yeah.
We're still playing.
Yeah, he has Displacer. That one doesn't do it. That only goes for creatures.
Still a clue token for Steven as well. 2 mana. He's going to decide if he wants to crack that clue. His opponent just revved for 5. If Ben untaps,
that's scary.
It gets scary.
That's a lot of cards. After going through that Detention Sphere and that Explosives, Ben does want to find a different answer to that Ether Vial.
All right, where's Steven going? 3 mana. He starts Eldrazi Displacer. Thraben Inspector swings. Nikolich down to 5, but Ben has found his 3rd Supreme Verdict.
Modern Open players, just a reminder, you do need to
and I assume he's got to go for it.
Just drew Elspeth Sun's Champion.
Okay. Snapcaster Mage from Ben. Where is he going? We'll see. Snap casting a Supreme Verdict. Okay. Steven going to use Eldrazi Displacer to flicker the Thraben Inspector. He gets a 2nd clue, but then loses the board. And Ben passes. He does not have Cryptic Command mana up. It's only 3. He does have a Cryptic in his hand. Steven's going to try to rebuild, though he's got Ben down to 5. Just under 2 minutes now remaining. Ben needs to make sure he can actually win.
Yeah, Ben's going to have a lot of trouble actually closing. At this amount of time, though, Steven's got to be concerned.
And it's Thalia from Steven. Players might, I don't know if we'd even see a draw here because of the number. We'll let you know when we know. Blade Splicer from Steven. He's gone through 3 Supreme Verdicts, one of them Snapcastered, then Ghost Quarters the Azcanta. That's gone. Ben gets a land. Go back over to Ben. Players going as fast as they can. Supreme Verdict from Ben. That's the 3rd one. That's the last one in his deck. So he has 2 more in the yard. One's already been exiled. He's resolved all 3 of them the first time, and he snapped 1 of them. Passes back with Cryptic up. You can tell how fast these players want to go. Still clue tokens remaining, though, for Steven. Draws. And there is Elspeth in Ben's hand, too. 1 more mana, and he can cast Elspeth while leaving up Cryptic Command. That should be his route to victory, but just 33 seconds remain. Laying an Arbiter from Ben. That'll get Cryptic Command, counter, bounce the Aether Vial. Great play by Ben. That's a great mana denial. Going to cast Thraben Inspector from Steven, up to another clue.
For Commander Pods and for Turbo Drafts. For Turbo Drafts, you draft.
Steven's going to remake Aether Vial and say go. Ben untaps, draws, going to cast Elspeth plus Elspeth. His Cryptic is down. He's going to, I think Spell Snare is there. He's going to pass, and he does that just before the cutoff, which got himself an extra turn. So turn 0 is Steven's. Ben will have turn 1, 3, 5, and you can tell that extra speed there gave Ben a chance.
Right. This puts him in a position where he's embleming on turn 5 if he goes unfettered.
Yeah. That was really smart on Ben's side. Now, of course, he's at 5. Things could still end up poorly.
Right.
But getting that last turn in was so big.
He'd be in trouble if Dykman could assemble some flyers. We see some clues going on, and Dykman not drawing great cards off of these clues. Found another Ether Vial, another Thraben Inspector.
Yeah, it looks like Nikolich may have just done it. That Runed Halo still on Restoration Angel from a while back. Another Aether Vial after cracking clues from Steven, and he just passes. I think Nikolich has done it. Snapcaster Mage on Lightning Bolt, bolts away the Snapcaster, or bolts away the Thraben Inspector, untaps. He's going for some damage. Turn 1 is Ben Nikolich's. He's got 5 damage already on the board per turn. He could bump it up to 9 with a Colonnade, and you know what? I see no reason why not.
Yeah. Yeah, with a Vial on 1, with you plussing Elspeth, nothing's going to happen on the end step that you care about.
Yeah,
you might have lethal next turn with this line.
And you see he's going to swing for 9. I think he actually over-tapped on the Colonnade, but that's going to be fine. Aether Vial puts Thraben Inspector into play. That actually could block well. So Ben's going to go ahead and electrolyze down the Thraben Inspector, draws a card. So connects for 9, Dykman to 11.
Want to remember to plus Elspeth, and he does.
3 more.
Picked up Secure the Waste as well.
Back to Steven, turn 2.
He should be able to pull this one off.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it on turn 3.
You gotta love that as a Jeskai control player.
This was well done by Ben Nikolich. From Steven. Cracks his final clue here, draws. He's got Eldrazi Displacer. 2 Ghost Quarters, so those Colonnades are not worth damage anymore.
No, but these Soldier tokens sure are.
Yeah, and so you're right, Ben might need the 5th turn.
Right.
Maybe the kind of thing without it, Steven could force the draw. Really well played by Nikolich. We go to turn 3.
Maintaining Elspeth, and certainly after picking up that Secure the Waste, it looks like he is going to be able to cross the finish line.
Here's a swing. It's for 8. Steven has something to vial in. He vials in on 2. And in response to the vial, it's Vendilion Click from Ben. He wants to take whatever 2-mana card Steven was hoping to put into play. I love the play from Ben. Eldrazi Displacer, Leonin Arbiter, Dismember Steven's cards. Well, how scared are you of Leonin Arbiter?
Not very.
Do you want to take it anyway, though? Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that Death and Taxes can draw to get out, but I don't think you have to take the chance. How much better is the situation if he doesn't have that?
He's going to take the 2-drop. I understand. So Steven draws. If he draws another 2-drop, he can put it into play. Looks like he doesn't. So 6 soldiers plus the Snapcaster is 8. That would drop Steven down to 3.
3 is not high.
No, the Dismember's not a card anymore.
No. So these creatures, they're looking to come across pretty easily. Any Lightning Bolt does it, any Lightning Helix does it.
Elspeth pluses to 7. Next turn she'll be able to ultimate. There's also the Secure the Wastes in Ben's hand. And man, yeah, that play where he bought himself an extra turn is looking so important here. Steven now on his last turn. He's not going to be able to win. He's just setting up defenses. Eldrazi Temple. Sure, he's got a Displacer in hand. Does it do anything?
Too many tokens. He can displace maybe twice.
And he can't. It is Ben